humans, ghouls, and mutated fools. Welcome to the channel Beware Mutated Zombies. I am Mara, Mutated Zombie, and today we're going to continue on with Mask of the Rose. I don't know what we're going to be doing today, other than trying to pay off Horatia, because I don't want to get eaten. I really don't want to get eaten by Horatia. I don't want to get eaten by her, or her slithery monsters down in the depths. I don't want it. Okay, I don't want it. I don't want to die by tentacle. Please, no. I need money. So we're going to try and not die. Yes. Hopefully get job. Hopefully pay off Horatia. Who knows what else we can do. But yes. So let's go ahead and start the game. Whoop. Okay, let's recall the past if there's anything left to recall. I think there's like 2 things. Reach for another memory. Impossible things if I concentrate. Horatia and Grizz talk while the sun didn't rise. They're very sweet creatures, really. I shouldn't have used the word plague. I agree that bats are harmless. I mean, they can be, depending on what they have. But this is a conversation that you two had, so I didn't interrupt. The sight of them gives me chills. Or gives me a chill. That's not the bats then. That's all the rest of us. It's all the rest of it. Shouldn't be sunrise now. The clock fell off the shelf. I don't know what time it is. Okay. Talking about bats. Alright, let's go outside and hopefully find a job. Boarding house, Devil's Townhouse. Okay, so things with exclamation points are things where things can be done. Things with gold are things where there is money to be made. Or not money to be made, but money to be spent. Where is... Oh, I have to have what's-his-face lead me there. Okay. Alright, let's go to the bazaar and dare to question Mr. Pages about ministry theories now that my friend Grizz is not going to be there. Because if Grizz had been listed there, I would not have done so. I'm a little afraid of Mr. Pages, but also I need a job. Maybe he'll hire me back. I don't know. I'm satisfied with this. The more often I visit the neighborhood of the bazaar, the more it seems unlike any other part of London. What is that? But when I try to imagine where it might have come from, my mind halts. If I can guess, I find I don't want to. Hi! You are no longer a clerk of this ministry. Yeah, I know. You have relinquished your badge, yet you return. Mr. Page's business appears to be complete. Tell Pages about the tentacular thing ruling beneath. There's a tentacled creature spread under the neath. I believe you serve its will. That is not so. It is incorrect. It is disapproved. Silence falls. For a moment, no one speaks. Ask whether the master always knew the way of the surface. Yeah, no. I need to ask questions. Have the masters always known the way above? Were you only waiting until a suitable time to tell us that the surface is still there? There's always a way for us. For you, sometimes it hides itself. We did not hide the brute. Accept that answer. Because, like, they didn't really stop us from exploring. There was no do not explore. It was just get rid of your maps. Because they're bad maps. Oh, I see. It is unlikely that you understand. No, I understand! This is preferable, most especially for you. Shh. I say farewell to Mr. Pages. Mr. Pages... Or Pages does not reply at all. It is at times difficult to tell whether Mr. Pages is intentionally ill-mannered or merely has no interest in discovering what the proper etiquette might be. My opinion remains to be seen. I shake my head to clear. The ruminations are gone. All is as set. as it was. Because here's the thing, Mr. Pages could be like, no, it's perfectly natural to take villages and cities and towns and continents down. It's perfectly acceptable. It is acceptable of our people to do these things. Like, it's like saying it's perfectly acceptable to exterminate ants. It's the same thing, okay? So I can't dislike him for something that him and his kind might, or it and its kind. I can't remember. I think Grizz said that Mr. Pages prefers they, them, it stuff. So, um, but yeah, I can't fault them for that. I just have time for another errand today. All right. Head outside. Is there anything to do with the discuss theories? Visit with Archie? No. Let's go. I believe it's Thrall Street. I need Harjeet to show me the route to the slithery things that Horatia needs me to take care of. I'm satisfied with this. Good afternoon, Lilac. Volunteer to join in the rounds. Oh, that's cool. Flirt. Come straight to the point. Oh, interesting. Come straight to the point. I'm here for a reason. New destinations. Cavern of Tentacled Creatures. Do you know how to get to the Cavern of Tentacled Creatures? I believe I know what you mean. You just gonna lead me there? The walk is easier this time than some of our previous lessons. At first, I think I am becoming better at route finding. Then Harjeet mentions that the streets are becoming easier. The street signs change less frequently now. Is the city settling? The Warrens of Amber, a warren of brooding tunnels and resinous deposits. Harjeet takes me as far as the cavern entrance and suggests I watch my back. You just go, okay. Weird that you would just leave me here. The ascent is steep, the caverns lightless and treacherous. I walk in the dripping dark for a very long time. Has anyone else ever been this way? Will I ever return? Goal complete. Learn about the origin of tentacle creatures below. Did I? Until at last a light. What are you doing down here? Crashing about in the dark like an escaped sorrow spider. My friend and I heard you from miles below. The sound was vexing him. And more importantly, vexing me. Demand to know who she is, take a grim line, ask if she is a fellow Londoner. Are you from around these parts? I am not native to the caves, if that is your question. I can also assure you I do not come from your fetid city, though I have learned your ungainly language. Nor did I spout from the flowers like a hero of old. I have been here a very long time. My name is... This is awful. Barkhujan. Barkhujan? My name is Barkhujan. I used to be a person of consequence. My city predates yours, though it is now gone. Yours fell on it, but I do not hold it against you. The fourth city had already gone to the dogs, and worse. Join in on her joke, accuse her of lying, compliment her appearance after these many centuries. What? It doesn't seem like a joke. This place is weird. I would not say it's a joke. I would not accuse of lying. I guess compliment her appearance after these many centuries. Sure. And you don't look a day over 30. Ha! Your usual line. Adjust upwards and downwards according to the self-awareness of the recipient, no doubt. I ceased to count the days after I descended to the amber vats. My appearance has become an abstraction to me. But it is good to know the rubbery men were not lying about the restorative properties. It seems I best escort you into the caverns if you mean to explore. There are things down here it would be best not to fall into. You may not take my arm. And my friend would welcome company. It saves him talking to me. She leads me deeper into the darkness. Okay. I've been watching your city for some time. I have made a few trips to the market above and bartered for what I could with what little we have. I have observed the Londoners as are an excitable breed. It is in this spirit that I warn you not to be alarmed at the appearance of my friend. He cannot help it. Express a fond hope that this friend possessed good manners at the very least. Immediately assume the worst. Imagine that she is pleased to see as delightful a specimen as me. Steal myself. I wonder what I'm getting myself into. Especially with no weapons, no lantern. Like, seriously, just came down here in an apron and a hat. His people are from far away, or long ago. They emerged centuries ago from these caves. I do not know how deep their roots run. They do not resemble us. They do not think like us. They do not act like us. But they do not mean to harm us. It is not far now. She leads me through dark and twisting caverns for a very long time. It feels like days. It's an ood! No. It's Cthulhu! No. It's a Cthulhu. It's a Cthulian nightmare. Also known as an ood. This is Batachikan. It is not his name, but that what he has permitted me to call him. Names are unknown to his people. He is a man of surpassing flexibility. Perhaps rubbery man is more suitable translation. Though, of course, he is not a man, but he has insisted upon the masculine. I have not wished to dispute this. Recoil in alarm. I steeled myself. Ask how accurate the title surpassing flexibility is. He's tentacles, so it's just that must come in handy. I imagine there's more than a few uses for such a skill. Batachikan makes an innocent hooting noise. Believe me, the novelty wears off after the first century. And now you've only encouraged him. You are the first to venture down here, though secrecy has grown harder and harder of late. Batachikan insisted we get as close to the surface as we could. I told him it was only a matter of time, and I was right. Batachikan makes a series of plangent honks. I don't know what plangent is, but, okay. The gesture is obvious, the surface. There are others of his kind, many in deeper places than here. They sheltered me from the dissolution of my city. I thought Mr. Pages was gonna look like this when he took off his hood, but now I'm wondering if Mr. Pages is, like, scarier, because Batachikan is smaller. They have sent us from the vats to be their emissaries. I have been his eyes and ears while we waited to see what would become of your new city. I have even learnt your language, what under heaven happened there, such an ugly polygamous tongue. I believe we have tea. Will you take a cup? Batachikan makes a series of frantic honks as though to dissuade me. Take the opportunity to make eyes at Barkujan over the cup. Drink a cup with gusto. Refuse the offer. Okay, look, it's rude to not accept a beverage, but also I don't know who you are, and he's telling me not to, so I'm gonna refuse the offer. I'm not thirsty. I'm good, thank you, though. I couldn't possibly. How disappointing. Is there an error in how I make it? Offer to show her a London method of making tea. Pretend to drink the tea. Suggest she find that out herself. There's no option of I'm just not thirsty. Pretend to drink the tea. Refreshing. Once we had better animals for the production. I will not distress your stomach by revealing the source of this milk. Another cup? No? He wishes to. I had mosaic tiles somewhere for the difficult ones. Bear with me, as that cheating costermonger at the market says. Bada Chicken approaches with a plaintive burbling. Bada Chicken extends a tentacle. He wants me to take it. Accept the tentacle with intent. Give the tentacle a polite shake. Refuse to touch polite shake. It's like, hello. I give it a firm shake. It is oleaginous and soft as silk. Bada Chicken makes a pleased honk. I have it. That noise means a recumbence is desired, but not... Oh. I see that I am superfluous. That shall be my epithet. Superfluous bark cushion. What? Barkujan is still for a moment. Then she rolls her eyes. Very well. I do recall this one. I accept the apology. Bada Chicken makes a plangent noise like a duck being deflated. I think this indicates contentment. This is followed by a series of trilling ululations. No, I would not ask that on a first visit. She glances at me. Perhaps if our new friend were to come here again. They might indicate by doing so that they are willing to entertain a request of such viscosity. What? The conversation waits on Barkujan. What? They watch me depart. I sense they wish I had stayed, but were too cautious to ask. Perhaps they might welcome another visit in the future. I'd be cool visiting them. I don't think that they seem like they have ulterior motives that would be dangerous later on. It is a long and treacherous road back through the caves. Also, it's oddly comforting down there. At this point, I go back to Horatius. Alright, time for dinner. I don't know where the others have got to. They do know when supper is served. Oh, hey, Harjeet. Good evening. I'm looking for Archibald. Is he here? Archie, he's upstairs. Listen. Yes? I know all the old maps have been outlawed. But if you come for his atlas, do you think you could leave it with him? It gives him a lot of comfort remembering all those little villages in Scotland where his family used to live. Put in a word for Archie's map collection. Let Harjeet get on with it. This is probably ministry. No, map collection. Yes, leave Archie his maps. He's not doing any harm with them. That isn't why I'm here. Let them keep chatting. Call Archie downstairs. I go to the foot of the stairs and call for Archie. Harjeet, I hope you're well. I'm sorry, Archibald. I'm here on the line of duty. It's about David Landau. Did something happen to him? I only saw him today. Shortly after your visit, he died by poisoning. Died? The poor man. React with shock. Because my hat allows me to. What? But I saw him very recently. May he rest peacefully. I'm sorry to have to bring you this news. Is Rachel alright? Is there anyone with her to protect the house? She said you were the last person to speak with David. Well, Archie does deal a lot with laudanum and giving folks things that they want to no longer have to endure, so, you know, he coulda. That the fatal dose must have come from you. I don't understand. There was an inquest, and the jury found against you. I'm here to arrest you for murder. What? Wait a moment. I knew it was just time till Summit went awry. There's too many folks ill, and I can't cure the whole town. Oh, and there's too many folks ill, and can I cure the whole town? Ask for a moment, semi-private conversation with Archie. Speak for Archie. Ask if Rachel is alright. Speak up for Archie. This must be a misunderstanding. Archie is dedicated to keeping people alive, and I don't see him having the nerve to hurt anyone. Not on purpose. No one can measure another person's courage just by looking. Ask for a semi-private conversation with Archie. Ask if Rachel is alright. I'm suspicious. How's Rachel doing? Does she have anyone with her? There's her housekeeper Phoebe and some friends from her community. They're preparing the body for burial. It can't be left unburied very long. Ask where David's being buried. Where are they burying him? They mean to take him to a Jewish graveyard at Ball's Pond. Rachel said there might be a dispute with their Spanish relatives that their mother was buried somewhere else, but she did not think it would change the outcome. Where are you taking Archie? Newgate Prison was destroyed in the fall. For the time being, prisoners are held in the HMS Ungulate. Ungulate? Sounds like a very insalubrious environment. Cold, damp, infested with vermin. Breathing the vapors of the Thames. It might not be good for the health of the prisoners. You're not talking your way out that way. No, I mean, if you don't mind, before we set out, I'd like to collect a few doses of this and that. Things that might help to settle bad lungs and prolonged coughs. You're asking whether, before we go, you can be allowed to rearrange your collection of drugs and bring some of those drugs with you. That isn't quite how I'd phrase it. When you stand accused of murdering a man, though, through the use of potent toxins. Oh. For the sake of your future guards and cellmates, I think I must refuse. Sure. Let's have a private conversation with Archie. Can I ask Archie something just for a moment? As long as you stay in sight. Quickly check that he didn't do this. Assure him he's not alone. Ask if he's going to survive. You're not alone. You're not alone. We're all on your side and we'll come visit you until you're free. Thank you. Promise to visit. I'll come see you. I hope so. I did not think there's much society on offer. Let Archie go, because there's nothing else that I can do. Horatio, I'll be back as soon as I can. Don't let my room to anyone else. We won't. Don't fret. We'll get to the bottom of it. How can they find him guilty without, like, having him and anyone else there? Like, what kind of society are we going on with now? This is worse than a witch hunt. Maybe Grizz's high-placed friends at the ministry will come in handy. It'd be a good thing if they did. There's still dinner on the table, but Horatio doesn't have much appetite. A foreboding former warship converted into a brooding prison hulk. Go straight to sleep. I have nothing to review in my journal. Circumstance tainted drug. Person, Phoebe. Who is this Phoebe? Did Phoebe do it? 3 days remain in the season of confessions. For a moment after waking, I forget what happened last night. Then it comes back to me, the sight of Archie being taken away. Horatio staring at a plate of uneaten pie the rest of the evening, strange as it was, and then stumbling back to my own bed. There is no mention of Archie's arrest in the morning's newspaper. Odd. I should find out who truly did it. I should focus on saving Archie's neck regardless of the real... No, I should find out who actually did it. This may be difficult, persuading people to speak with me, figuring out the way through the possibilities. I will have to craft questions to ask people the way Archie showed me. It might take some doing. I don't believe Archie did it. On further thought, it would be better to take it easy. Nah, I don't think he did it. Like, he definitely could have given the guy, like, been like, hey, if you don't want to keep going, here's so and such. Or it could have been like, here's the medicine, don't take more than blah. And the person's like, I'm going to take more than blah. And then he dies. It could also be that Archie gave some medicine to somebody else or some sort of medicine to somebody else for something that they asked about, and then they used it on the guy who died. So there are many possibilities. Whatever the truth might be, I don't think that's it. I'm looking to put the right person in the hands of the law. I'm not really worried that there's a killer out there. That's the least of my concerns, really, honestly. I need to pay Horatio back so I don't get fed to the thing in the basement. What will become of London if we don't take some measures to see the right people punished? For real. Find out how David's relations are reacting to his death. Time to go in detective mode. I don't think there's anything left to recall in the past, but let's see. Oh! Horatio offered Harjeet a place to bring the wounded. If you find anyone wounded out there that needs looking after, if they're safe to move, I'll bring them here. But ma'am, there might not be anyone. If no one is hurt, all the better. Most of them I find are dead, ma'am. One young man was crushed by a beam across the middle. Someone had come and taken off his face. Taken it off. Clean cuts. I hope they waited until he was dead. For real. Devil's Townhouse, The Thing, Boarding House, Townhouse. Find out what Horatio is up to in the basement. Visit Grizz, see whether Grizz needs anything. Talk to Grizz about Archie's arrest. Grizz and I know another too well now for any minor eccentricities of dress to surprise her. I may still have my own preferences about how I wish to appear, however. I'm satisfied with this. It doesn't take Horatio long to explain what's happened. This is a mistake, a serious error. I would have thought Harjeet would investigate more carefully than that. I thought he liked Archie. I'm sure he does even. But if he thinks that Archie's been poisoning his patients... But that's absurd. You only have to look at Archie. I've met more threatening rabbits. Agree. Question Archie's harmlessness. Give some credit to the inquest. Agree. I don't think the inquest did anything like that was stupid. Exactly so. I was hoping your friends at the ministry could help with this. Oh. I don't know what they do there, but they sound very influential. They don't control the constables, or at least my department doesn't. But they would know where to put in a good word. They might not see it the way we do, but I can try. That's all we can risk. That's all we could ask. There's time for another errand today. Let's go check on the family. Visit Rachel after David's death. I consider what Lando would make of my current garb. I should change this. I want to appear commanding. That'll do. Offer my condolences. I'm sorry for your loss. I know so many other people have lost someone this year. But mine was murdered. Mine was unnecessary. David's death wasn't an accident, or misfortune, or fate. At that moment, someone could be heard at the door. There were so many new graves when we buried him. Mr. Milton is here to see you, miss. Here, now. Do you want me to say you aren't home? No, you can't tell him that. He'll know I'm here but maybe you'd better stay. Don't strain yourself finding an excuse. I promise to depart again before I have entirely worn out my welcome. Milton, no, please, you're very welcome. Poor Rachel, I came because I heard your unhappy news. I ought to be wearing black, but there's been so little time. Point out that purple is a mourning color. Be quiet and watch. Be quiet and watch. I did have a black gown. My mother died last year. We handed it down to a cousin on the Landau side. Her husband died in the fall. She needed something suitable. She used to sit in the parlor after supper in the second-hand gown. She used to sit in the parlor after supper in the second-hand gown and a glossy wig, and drink a great deal of David's wine. Ah, the widow Nathan. I take it she had much to say about the trials of having no one to support her. She never did recognize the character as herself. Confront Rachel about putting people in stories, defend the unfortunate widow, raise eyebrows at their joking. I raise my eyebrows as a silent reminder that we are mourning the dead. Phoebe said you've buried the body at Falls Pond very soon after the death. It's our tradition. Technically, it shouldn't be, because you're Jewish and it's just a certain time period. Just saying that you need to wake and such. How do you avoid burying someone alive? Exactly. Encourage Milton to stop distressing her. Encourage Rachel to dismiss. See where this goes. The burial, Rachel. David was dead. Unambiguously, grotesquely dead. Have you been back to the grave? Is it undisturbed? Is this how you comfort mourners in your society? We don't mourn the dead. Your experience shows. Inexperience shows. This isn't necessary here. You've been here long enough. Is that what you've been? Phoebe. Phoebe, I called you. Miss, did you want for tea for the guest? I did not, and don't play the fool. I know you've had your ear to the door. See Mr. Milton out. I could have found my own way. At least one of us here is going to observe the civilities, and it seems I'm the only one up to it. Miss Landau, I'm very sorry, but please go. Encourage her to forgive Milton later, get a dig at it. Elsa recognize Rachel wants to be alone. Encourage her to forgive Milton later. He isn't all bad. I don't know him, but just saying. I have a bias here. I'll forgive him later. I can't bear his company at the moment. I suppose David would be gratified to know he'd separated us. Oh. It's nearly time for supper. Novelize the affair. Could use a scandal. Time for dinner. Feels wrong not having Archie at his seat. We'll have him home again soon. It's not as simple as we'll have him home again soon. It's not as simple a matter as I hoped, but we'll get to it. Best we not dwell on it. We need our strength if we're going to do anything. The Vicar's got a new spring in his step. His sermon today was calling for practical action. He said something about faith alone not being enough. I'm no learned doctor of the church, but I feel we had a reformation over this very issue. Complain about his meddling, suggest there's no hope down here. Do not take this conversational gambit. My hat allows me to be all mean. I just realized that my headset's microphone was not as close to my mouth as it should have been. I hope you were able to hear me this whole time. Do not take this conversational gambit. Indeed. There's a brief lull in the conversation. I don't worry when I'm with Mr. Pages. Or I do worry, but I don't worry about myself. I don't worry whether there's something wrong with me. When I'm not there, then I remember I cannot speak with a start. But when I'm not here, then I remember seeing my mother in the parlor of our townhouse. I think of in the middle of whatever that strange orgy even was. Killing the servants even, I'm not sure. Recommend she tell Mr. Pages how she feels, persuade her she must have seen wrong. You and Mr. Pages seem to have something going on. You should go with it. You should confide in Mr. Pages. Tell it how you're feeling and what you're afraid of. If I'm afraid of being unconventional, It might think I'm trying to bring things to an end between us. I don't want that. At least, I'm mostly sure I don't want that. Leave a mess for Horatio. Keep quiet and eat. I chew diligently. Dinner reaches an end. Go to sleep. 271 days till the fall. 2 days remain in the season of confessions. But we're gonna have to end it here today. Another morning, another newspaper. Grizz bought one, and the headlines read: River through London no longer to be known by its former name. Londoners warned of strange creatures emerging from the waters. Oh dear. If I'm not too occupied otherwise, I can always ask my friends and acquaintances whether there's anything they need from me. They may have additional tasks for me. I still need to find out who is the real killer. So, and also get money, because job. Alright, I'm going to end it here today because I'm trying to keep these as short as possible. And it's been over 30 minutes. So, please like, subscribe, comment, do all the things. Pulse, blocks, pulse. I will see you all next time, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your morning, evening, afternoon. Okay, bye!